Hello everyone, this is Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist, back again for another preview of a speaker at CONVERGE 18. Today it's Susan du Becker, Global Compliance Enablement at Cisco Systems, who's going to talk about breaking down communications barriers. First, a word from our sponsor Conversant about CONVERGE 18. As you know, the last year has publicly brought ethics to the center of business reputations worldwide. With the acceleration of the speak-up culture and organizational accountability that social media is enabling and amplifying, companies need to incorporate integrity into every level of their organization. CONVERGE 18 is helping organizations to do just that by addressing ethical transformations head-on. This event will be held in Denver, Colorado from October 8th through 10th. At it, you will be able to network with 300 of your peers, including C-suite executives, legal professionals, HR leaders, and ethics and compliance visionaries. Gain insights from 35 speakers, including such prominent speakers as Wei Chen, Steph Vogel, the NBA's Deputy Chief Compliance Officer, and Carol Switzer, President of OSEG. You will bring home actionable takeaways to your compliance program from a variety of sessions, including 2 keynotes, 5 general sessions, 12 based roundtables, and 18 interactive breakout sessions for you. You can get more information on CONVERGE 18 at Conversant's website, conversant.com. Listeners to this podcast will receive a 50% discount to the event. Use the discount code TOMFOXVIP. That's all caps, TOMFOXVIP. Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox, and I'm back for another episode in our series of previews of speakers at CONVERGE 18. Today, I'm extraordinarily thrilled to have with me Susan du Becker. Susan is Global Compliance Enablement at Cisco. And Susan, first of all, thank you for taking the time to visit with me.
You're very welcome.
So, Susan, you and Jackie Cheslow are making a joint presentation entitled, "What Did You Mean by That? Overcoming Communication Barriers." And I was wondering if I might be able to get you to tease out a little bit or give a short presentation or highlight of your presentation.
Not a problem. So Jackie works for a completely different industry to the one I'm from, as you're aware. But we are both very passionate about where our industry is going, so to speak, because compliance and ethics really is an industry, and there is far more focus on it. The authorities globally are more interested in what companies, corporations are doing around compliance and ethics. And we, as a group of professionals, have to stand up and be counted on as to where we're taking and helping support our organizations in that drive. So one of that is about how you communicate and what are we doing for the future. I'm an expert, called a subject matter expert within the company, as is Jackie, but we have to start encouraging the younger people, the younger generation to come in, and we have to understand how they operate as well. What are the important care-abouts that they have, and how that then gels with our organization, because we can't stand still. We can't be stayed in our operation. We have to be adaptable. We have to be flexible. We have to move with not only our industries, but with the times. And that means that we have to look at the younger generation as well of how do they get their info? What's their work style, their lifestyle? We have to look past the old traditional methods. And we have to look at and understand that it's not just one size fits all. It's about the fact that different countries have different appetites. So how do you make sure that when you have a global organization or even a local one that has an outreach to even just a different county, if I look at the U.S., there's a differential, a different understanding. So how do you blend that together? So this is why we wanted to come and share that information at the organization in Denver.
So, Susan, does that include perhaps innovative technological solutions in terms of your delivery and a different content based upon where people are in the world, what type of business is in, or what their risk profile might be?
I think it incorporates all of these things. I mean, each of our industries is different. And one of the things that I always talk about when I'm talking about compliance is what is relevant in your business and your world. I work for a high-tech company, as you know. My risk tolerance level is different to that of, say, a healthcare or a pharmaceutical. So I have to, number one, understand my industry. I have to understand the content of what is required to ensure not only compliance from a regulatory perspective, but from a behavioral aspect as well, from the fact of what it is that we're telling our board, dealing with our executives, the C-suite, how it is we actually share these things.
So when you talk about the different workforces, you had a great phrase that I wrote down, the careabouts. And the careabouts, I think it's recognized that millennials and even centennials vote with their wallet, vote with their pocketbook, and they vote in terms of whose products they consume, and they vote in terms of where they want to work. Is that something that you've been able to think about and see what those careabouts are and tailor your program to that?
Absolutely. So the way that I look at it is that everything, you have a foundation for everything that you can build upon. You can use whatever standards you want to. We use our code of business conduct, our ethical behaviors as our foundation. And from there, you can then reach out and say, what are the different elements that we have to recognize and work with? How do we do that? Now, we don't want to be customized in every section of the world that we work in. As you can imagine, being a global company, we work all over the place. So you can't have an individual program for each country. But what you can do is respect each country that you work with and work with them in the best way possible. So we have a foundational program where it's the same across the board for all countries. And then we address the individual country regimes by respecting what they have and building it into our program or aligning it with our program. So it's a mixture of both aspects in both areas, and understanding that I have a culture within my company that I work with. That is my company culture that I respect. But I do also work with my country culture. So I have to blend the two together and working out how I can best service what is required, especially around communication. There are different levels and ways of doing it. So yes, I guess that long way around is I do tailor certain things.
So let me change the focus a little bit, if I could, Susan, and ask what you hope to garner, obtain, or uncover as a attendee of Converge 2018.
Well, I think at Converge 18, we've got a lot of industry experts. So my first thing is I'd like to hear from them what some of their careabouts are, what some of their areas that they're looking at. Because only by listening to each other can we feed off each other, can we benchmark off each other and learn and grow. And I want to share my message as well about saying, look, we have to get away from the fact of, I am the Pooh Bear compliance officer and you need to come to me, and help drive it into the DNA of our companies that everybody is responsible for our behaviors. And we just have to make sure that we align that messaging. And we have to align it as well with the younger generation coming through. I want to attract the younger generation. I want to make it keen for them to come in, but I also want to hear their ideas. So going to an august representation like this is key for me because I hear from those others.
Well, Susan, unfortunately, we're near the end of our time, but I've been visiting with Susan du Becker from at the Global Compliance Enablement at Cisco. She is making a joint presentation with Jackie Cheslow at Converge 18 entitled, "What Did You Mean by That? Overcoming Communication Barriers." Susan, thank you for taking the time to visit with me, and I look forward to seeing you at Converge in a couple of weeks.
I'm very much looking forward to Converge 18 and meeting all the people there, and thank you for the interview.
This is Tom Fox again. I'd like to thank you for listening to this episode and our preview series of speakers at Converge 18. I hope you will join me there. It's going to be one of the top compliance conferences in 2018. Once again, please take advantage of the 50% discount with Tom Fox VIP as your discount code. I hope you will join me again for another episode.